I don't know, I might
Maybe
end up
you should.
colliding my way into it. I don't want to be rude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wait.
Hey everybody. We are Dicey Decisions RPG, and tonight is episode 31 of our uh, Zeros to Heroes campaign. My brain is slippery tonight. Can't remember much. So, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Um, we have lots of stuff going on. We have a Friday night campaign, so just reminding you, called Twist of Fate, where our characters are going from 3 to 20. And currently we're at level 10. Um, and our Monday night campaign, which we're on now, Zeros to Heroes, we've gone from 0 to 3. Currently at third level. And 30, this is episode 31 plus, I think, 3 5-0 sessions, so 36 sessions, and we're still only at level 3. So this is a long-running narrative campaign, and we hope you sticking with us because we don't have too many combats, but characters are up against a lot of um, difficulty, challenges, shall we say. Um,
We're fighting ourselves, really, you know?
Yeah,
in
in
some
many
ways,
ways, yeah.
yeah. There's definitely a little bickering, although less than there was. Could get back to more than there was.
Asking
So
us to?
I mean, we could get back to it, for just
I'm
like no
just
reason,
saying,
just because
who
we're bored,
knows?
Just like, hey, just start picking a fight. Why not?
So several potent narrative threads have woven themselves into this delicious little tapestry. We've got a magical arms race powered by the wizards of Iman. We've got the destabilization of the weave, opening the door to who knows, corruption, incursions from other planes. What does the weave do, actually, other than provide magic? We don't know. We have a cult summoning, uh, trying to summon one of the gods. We have a situation where the divine gate has fallen and the gods are being born again as mortals on Exandria. We have an alliance with an archfey, potentially even more than an alliance. Um, we have volatile political tension in the background among some of Exandria's great cities, and our characters are struggling with their own humble origins, which have tied them physically and emotionally right in the center of all of this. So, picking up where we left off last time. As you guys are looking for fairy circles, mushroom circles on the ground, there's lots of them, and you were deciding what you were going to do next after these four characters who came, talked to you for a while, and left, and looking at a nearby mushroom circle, the ground has begun to swell up inside of it. What would you like to do? Is anybody doing anything particular as the ground starts to bubble up? Not bubble, but like rise in the center.
Laughing. Fern is laughing because she's about to be proven right. Because there were live mushrooms and she knew it the whole time and no one would listen to her. So she's just laughing her head off.
I just realized that's the one thing we forgot to update Mel about last week was the mushroom thing.
Well, there are mushrooms everywhere. And
Okay.
as the ground is rising and swelling and starting to crack open, mushrooms are swelling up, running out in every direction away from this swelling section. They're growing really fast, and the ground cracks.
Or like they're just growing.
They're
Okay.
growing,
Oh, dang. Okay.
not running,
Got it.
not smiling, just actual mushrooms
Not winking.
dwelling.
Well, technically, Stony pipes in, prompted by no one. Those aren't the mushrooms actually growing. Those are the mushrooms fruiting. You see, the mushroom has already grown underneath. It is bearing its fruit. What you see coming up from the ground, that is.
Relevant. They're alive. They are
It is
sentient
very relevant. What are you
mushrooms.
talking about? We're talking about the
Are you
anatomy
sure?
of mushroom. It's mycelium. Yes, I'm very sure.
Are
Sure. I wonder if we could cook them.
Fern, are you sure you didn't see a potato? Potatoes have eyes.
The ground starts to crack and fall away, and you see branches starting to come up out of it. And this area expands past the mushroom circle, but there are mushrooms swelling up everywhere and all around your feet, potentially under your feet if you want to look. But the ground cracks and branches are pushing up through it, and it just big chunks of mud start sloughing off, and rising up out of this hole in the ground is a tree. The tree, it's not growing like a tree, it's pushing, using its branches as like arms, pushing its way up out of the ground. Does anybody want to react or do anything before I continue?
Does it look like a tree? Does it look like a tree we've met before? Does it look like one of the trees we met when we were speaking with the Green Lady?
Would you like to roll a check to see if you
Why
recognize
not?
this tree?
Sure, let's see what kind of luck I have today.
All right. I'm going to say it could be a
history-
perception or investigation, because
Okay, perfect.
you're using this moment to try to figure something out.
Oh, alrighty. That'll be a 19.
This is a willow tree.
Mhm.
You remember there was an important willow tree in the deep green where you had that dinner party and other things happened.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the willow tree was as a player?
It was the voice of the Green Lady, was it not?
Correct. Yeah. So yeah, Rip recognizes this tree because Rip is good at
I've met this
recognizing
tree
trees.
before.
Yeah.
We've met this one.
This tree climbs out, its huge root-like feet stepping, and it towers about, as it pulls itself out of the ground and stands on firm soil, it towers about 25 feet high. It is a full tree that has pushed up out of the ground. And it settles itself and once again grabs its chest and rips it open. And out hangs this beautiful tree spirit, a dryad, connected with roots and tendons and tendrils, I should say, and not vines, but more like the xylem and phloem of the actual tree are running through this creature. Its eyes are white, and it speaks with the voice of Lady Aphathil. She says, "It is good to feel the air once again in these lungs." And rising up out of the ground, you see a long blue-violet hand grabbing onto the willow, and another, and pulling herself up out of the ground. And flitting up around her head is Nimbus.
Cece, write that down. Lungs. Anatomy. Archfey. He says that under his breath.
Sure. Does CC say anything?
No, she just bobs, and then a piece of charcoal floats around, and parchment rolls out in front of her.
Okay. Very odd. Okay. Uh, so Lady Aphothil is here. She has just climbed up out of the hole, and she stands to her full height and stretches. Before, when she was standing next to you, she was at least twice as tall as your tallest member. She's 12 feet tall at her normal stance, but she has these long legs that sort of like stork legs that bend backward at the long heel, and stretches herself to her full height, and she's about 16 feet tall, enormous but very thin, and then comes back down. Oh, long and longer it has been since I have tasted this reality. She looks around, the orb in her long extended head shining back there. Delicious. And as she starts speaking, the mushrooms are just growing up like crazy. Some of them are big enough to actually like sit on as footstools. Vines are growing out in every direction. It's almost like somebody takes a sheet and makes it billow. It's like the vines and mushrooms are just spreading like that, just billowing out away from her. She looks down. Now, mortal children, my thanks. She looks around at the mountaintop. Poison has wrought devastation in every realm. She gestures to the mushrooms and vines. My eyes extend in all directions.
I told you. I told you. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I told you.
She doesn't miss a beat, she just keeps talking. But my power, though vast, does not. I am unable to exact my will here. Not near so much, in any case. But my eyes are seeking, e'en as we speak. And there is rumor of activity already. She squats down like a bird squatting, like settling itself down, sitting. Like a duck, perhaps. A duck on very, very long legs. And kind of curls in her arms, and she perches there in front of you. As she squats down like this, she's probably 6 feet tall, and her long whip-like tail, extremely long, maybe 20-foot long tail, just keeps moving and undulating it around behind her. Expecting your answer or something.
um, in fact, were you going to say something?
You can go first.
No, I was just going to get right to the point here. We have what Lady Aphothil requests of us.
But that's what I was going to do too.
Oh,
Yes,
great!
perfect.
You
Yes,
you are the one that has that, yes?
Yes, my dear lady. And she reaches into her bag and pulls back out the heart that she was studying last night. And she kneels down to in front of Lady Abathil and holds it out to her. This was all that was left of the creature when we finished. I hope it is what you're looking for.
Her face cracks into, like, to split her head in half into a long smile, and you see these jagged teeth as she smiles. And He points to it, and Nimbus flits over. Thank you, and takes it out of your hand and hands it to her. And in her extremely long fingers, she holds it like a stone, looks at it from several angles, puts it in her mouth. It's gone.
A delicacy?
We did all that just so you could have a snack?
I need everyone to roll a charisma save.
Is this is this a against a magic effect?
It's the same. She's not casting a spell or anything.
Okay.
It's just her aura. Do you remember when
Yes.
we were in the deep green? It was just unfightable. You were just overwhelmed by it.
Yeah. Still
Right
am.
now, it's different. Maybe personally, Rip is, but let's see if they can resist this. So let's see. What did Pieta get?
15.
You resisted. How about Rip?
Oh, yeah.
2.
Willingly prostrating herself before the mighty Archfey. How about Stony?
I didn't hear anything she
14.
said
Them.
after lungs.
What was it, Stony?
14.
I didn't.
14. That is a resist. It's way easier to resist here. Sunny,
Sunny got 14.
that is able to resist. And Fern, 17. Okay. So only Rip is overwhelmed on the material plane.
It's the true
By the-
presence of the spirit. It's a lot.
Says simply safekeeping. For where else would be safer? And her long tongue licks.
Oh.
Cece, safe storage inside Lady Athethil. Oh, and don't forget about the eyes extending everywhere.
This totally makes sense. That's like why I put the spider egg in Grim, to keep it safe.
As you say that, a memory sparks in all of your minds. You remember her saying, "In order to prove yourselves, I offer a task. Should you complete this task, I shall ask for thy aid. You would represent me in the mortal realm, and I shall remain unseen. I will offer you support and succor and other possibilities." As this memory pushes itself into your head, she looks at you all and cocks her head. "More there is here than I can see. Your troubles lie deeper than your words."
Spatially, physically, metaphorically, or metaphysically?
All of them. He means all of them. He
No, I'm
agrees.
asking Lady Athethil which one she's referring to. I do not wish to be rude. I am just wishing for clarification.
My sight is unclear. What is clear, however, is that you are struggling with things that I do not understand.
Oh, I was hoping maybe you would understand them.
If you do not understand our troubles, then, oh, a powerful being such as you, and not understanding. Oh.
I will grant you questions. You may question me For if I can help you, it is helping myself.
Fern kind of looks over at Stony
Yes?
and considers for a moment.
What, do I have something on my face?
No. No. My lady, your ears and eyes.
Ah! Oh no! I'm breaking out. Damn it.
Tony, you're fine. You're fine.
It's been a while since we've had room and board. Just saying. Sorry, you were saying.
It rained really hard last night. All the blood's washed off of you at least.
Yes, as I was saying, my lady, your ears and eyes throughout the realm, have they perhaps seen or heard anything relating to those trapped inside the mill?
Only what we see here. I can check. And she sniffs the air. And you can see in the distance mushrooms are just popping up and continue and grow. Within the mill, this is where she gained access. She or her followers, her influence has arisen there.
Oh. Oh dear. Okay.
You have destroyed her greatest ally in this area. Within that mill is the last of her influence for now.
Is there a way for us to sever the influence without severing the people from themselves?
Shall we go investigate?
Are you offering to come with us?
I would like to see the fruits of your labors and end this, at least in this area.
Then by all means.
She stands up like a giant crane-like bird and starts stalking across the landscape, climbing the mountain toward where you know the giant logging camp was. She walks at... Go ahead.
I was just going to ask, is she going at a pace we can keep up with, or?
She's going at her own pace, I was just about to say. And you would have to at least jog to keep up. She's not worried about you keeping up. She just expects you to.
Fern reaches out to Stony's hand and looks at him. Are you ready?
Ready for what now? Sorry, I was. Remind me never to get on Lady Everfield's bad side, though I don't think you'll have a problem doing that. And he very gingerly puts his hand in Fern's. No funny business.
Business. For me. Never.
Yes, never. Good one.
Let's go see what's inside.
as you guys approach, it takes, a good few minutes, maybe 10 minutes to climb up this mountain. You're passing fallen trees, branches, just where this used to, and Fern and Rip will especially remember that this was a verdant, healthy forest, which is gone. As you climb up the mountain, you see the giant log structure building up top, and as you're getting closer, weaving through these giant piles of wood that have been prepared to ship out, um, you see this sticky black. When you first saw it at night, it looked like shadows and it had retreated toward the building. But you see there's remnants of it on the ground. This black goo type stuff. You're not really sure what it is unless you want to stop and investigate. But you definitely notice that Lady Aphathil is avoiding it and stepping more carefully, slowing down and winding her way away from where this black stuff is.
Is it the same as the stuff that we wiped off of the heart and we're kind of digging in?
Similar, not exactly. This stuff looks more like stretched, and it looks a lot like black spider webs, but thicker. And as you come nearer, as you approach this giant building, it's everywhere. The black stuff is everywhere. And she stops and turns to you. I am loath to touch this. It will poison me. Part of the reason I could not approach the construct that you ably destroyed.
I think I might be able to help in this matter, if you'll allow me. Though I am uncertain of how far my influence will go here, but I'll give it a fair shot. It might take some time. And so he will attempt to press the digitation away the muck, treating it as, like, I guess, dirt.
Okay.
Though I know that. Well, so prestidigitation specifically for cleaning things, it's like a 5 foot cube. So you'd have to do this like like a few times to get it off. This might take a while. I'm sorry to say that. So if there's a specific spot that you'd like me to clean so that I may aid you, but I could do the whole thing if you. I'm just going to keep doing it until you tell me to do something else.
So when you try, it cleans everything except this black stuff. It doesn't seem, and she smiles. It doesn't seem as though your minor magics will affect. The ground is like poof, clean. The leaves or whatever was in the way, just totally. It's like
the leaves are
pristine
stacked
brown.
in piles.
Yeah.
Like not like a misshapen pile. They're like piled from like biggest leaf to like smallest leaf.
Yeah.
The more that he tries to like focus to get the goo away, the more that it does all the cleaning around it.
Yeah. And so the goo is not going anywhere. These are the workings of the Dark One, as you, I'm certain, already knew. If I had boots, and you look at her feet, they're like, each one is as big as a shield and looks like a hand. Giant, green, dappled, like camouflage, dappling feet or hands on the end of her legs. I do not think my feet could fit in something to step upon this evil.
I, well, if I may, I might be able to assist with making some shoes of sort. I may have to repurpose a few things, but let me think. Cece, pull out all the scrap metal that you can. Are you comfortable with touching metal?
It depends. She says, "Look there," and she gestures at the top of this giant log structure, and there is yellowish smoke rising from the top, similar to the yellowish smoke that you saw when you fought the construct.
What do I know makes yellow smoke?
Hmm. Like what kind of magic or what kind of. What are you thinking? What is Rip
I want
thinking?
to. I'm thinking, what could they be burning in there that produces yellow smoke, and what could that be doing for them? Rip is thinking in like medicinal herbalist terms of like what are they burning to ward off what?
Based on what you saw earlier when you fought the giant construct, it's a byproduct of the area. She has poisoned, and this is like a mist or a smoke that's coming up out of the, or it was coming up out of the land itself, where the
Right.
construct was stomping and making it all billow up.
Lady, you don't happen to have any of your water with you, do you?
She looks over her shoulder. It would take some time to produce.
I had some, but it dried up, and I'll hold up the container I had that used to contain it. It's
She
gone
doesn't,
now.
yeah, she doesn't respond to that.
Well, perhaps we can go in and you can communicate with us using your eyes and ears.
Hmm. That would be acceptable. There are other ways. I could tunnel, but then I could not come back up if this substance were in the way. Yes, be my eyes.
So, Fern has a poisoner's kit,
Okay.
and I would assume any good poisoner's kit would have some kind of antidote ing inside of it. Um,
Okay. I'm sure you have several antidotes. They are very specific antidotes.
yes. I guess she will bring it out and beckon Rip over, and she's gonna rip off a piece of cloth from the bottom of her dress. And she's actually gonna rip several pieces off so that there's one for each person. And then she's going to look to Rip and say, "Can you help me put together something that we can cover our faces with? Something that can help filter the air?"
Oh. Hmm.
Are you just concerned about touching the stuff? What will happen, Fern?
Inhaling it, actually.
And hey,
Yeah, I don't want to breathe that stuff in again. Well, I really don't want you guys to breathe stuff in. Um, I think if we fold these, maybe we might need to make all of our own, or you might be out of a dress. But I think if we fold them a few times and just have a few layers, uh, might help keep some of it out.
Can you think of any herbs or substances that we could apply to it to make it more powerful?
Would I know anything that would resist poison, act as a
Well,
barrier?
the trouble with that is, as you guys, it would be clear to you, you don't know what kind of poison this is,
Right.
and you, what you do know is it is manufactured by one of the, um, oh my gosh, again, my brain is broken. What are the bad guys called in Exandria? The bad gods, not the fallen. The
Oh,
you know,
no.
it's one of the things that you know it until somebody asks you. Um, anyway,
The betrayer gods?
the betrayer gods, yes. You know, a betrayer god has made this happen, so you're not sure if any sort of topical thing or even ingested thing or anything from nature can counteract this. You see
Yeah.
the ground, you see her mushrooms trying to grow up through it, and they're just kind of withering away as soon as they come up from underneath it. Uh,
Yeah.
it's anti-nature, basically.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can put on it. I think the best we can do is try and keep from breathing it in as best we can.
Well, it's worth a shot.
I think
And
it's a
she'll
good
start
idea.
trying to make masks.
Okay. So you're putting cloth over your faces and wrapping them up. Okay.
Oh, and before before I forget or others forget, Sunny here can dig holes.
Oh, I'll never forget that.
yes, I can
If
do that.
if that could be a
Are you wanting me to dig a hole?
well,
Well, you can make Earth
not for me
go. Well,
personally.
you can make the
Uh,
dirt disappear, but you can also bring it back, right?
um,
Put it back
I
where it was.
guess. I mean, I can move it.
You
Lady
cleared the
Aphothil doesn't
way.
say anything, but Nimbus says, "Can't can't anyone dig holes? I think I can dig a hole."
Yeah, can do it a little faster is all. You know, like
I see.
snapping my fingers.
Oh. Well, if you think you might be able to smother whatever is making that smoke with some dirt, that might really be helpful.
Or
Um,
clear the ground.
can I stomp my foot while casting mold earth to see if I can like take a 5 foot cube of dirt, like put it on the side, and then stomp again and put it back on top of the substance? Does
Is
that
that
make
how it
sense?
works? Can you just move this
It
giant
says
5 foot?
if you target an area of loose earth, you can instantaneously excavate it, move it along the ground, and deposit up to 5 feet away.
Okay.
Oh,
So you're
5 feet.
just taking a giant clot of dirt and plopping it somewhere. Okay.
Yeah. And then plopping it back over the substance, if possible. I don't.
Yeah, that it sort of does it. Yeah.
Well,
Is
it
that
Yeah.
sort of did it.
what you wanted, Stony?
Well, I was thinking aloud. I know how much you like digging holes so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd bring it up again.
Oh,
Just
okay.
if
Well, I can also do this and I stomp on the ground again, and I want to dig the hole right underneath Stony's feet this time.
Where's the dirt go?
It just to the side. It's more just so he plops down.
Oh,
Okay.
right on my tailbone. Okay, I get it. Sorry.
Perhaps if you dig enough and pile it above to make a pathway, can you do it more quickly?
I mean, yeah, you're gonna. Whew. Okay. I start like stomping my feet again and again and trying to like make the pathway.
So
In Sunny's
it's
mind, she has to stomp in order to make the hole.
fair. It's slow going. It's only 5 feet at a time, but it's every 6 seconds. So you're stomping your way along and kind of lumping dirt on top. And so maybe every 15 seconds you have another 5-foot section of dirt to walk on.
Okay.
So very slow going, and you're about 100 feet away from this structure. Nimbus says, "Should I go forward and fly up there and see what I can see?" So remember, you guys
you're
can walk
careful.
on it. It's not doing anything to your boots because they're for one reason or another.
I'll go first. I don't know if you all remember, but I have a little bit of resistance to this stuff.
Are you still
possibly.
making the path though?
Yeah, but I can go forward on the path in front of everyone.
Okay, sure. Does this spell make a lot of noise, like dirt thumping all over the place?
Um, I guess it wouldn't be quiet to plop dirt.
And
Yeah,
you have to speak to make it happen, right? So it's not like
it's
you're
just a
talking.
semantic. It's not a verbal spell.
Oh, okay. So you're stomping. That's
Just
all.
stomping.
You're just stomping. Got it. Okay. You see, actually roll perception checks, please. And Nimbus is still hesitantly trying to go with you guys, not ahead, because no one told her to. Okay, let's, Fern, what's your perception check?
18.
Nice. Sunny?
18 as well.
Stony?
3. He's still nursing his tailbone.
Rip?
13.
And Pieta?
6. He is just like, what's going on?
All right. So Pieta is just,
Very
I
true.
guess,
Out of it.
well, not necessarily, but enjoying Sonny's antics, just watching the dirt just pile up, making a pathway.
He like claps and cheers on Sunny.
Rip, something catches your eye up in the big structure. You see movement in the shadows. But Sunny and Fern, Sunny's very busy. I don't know how she sees this, but she does. You see people moving in the shade, in the darkness of the open end, kind of assembling. And it's very shadowy. You can just see like silhouettes of darker shapes moving in the darkness of the shadows.
Shadows of the house.
Mm-hmm. It's like a warehouse.
Fern, all of her years of training kick in as she kind of out of the corner of her eye notices movement that she didn't expect. And she puts a hand out to try to pause Sunny as she's moving dirt and looks at everyone and tries to quiet them. I think there are some that are still moving. And I think that they know that we're coming.
Kuthum, kuthum, kuthum.
I would stop when she says, I think they know we're coming. I'm like, oh, how do you think that?
I can see movement up ahead. In the
Oh.
shadows, not in the open.
Maybe they're
They don't
just
want to be
working.
known.
Maybe it's the bat?
I think that these are beings that do not want to be known until the time is right.
Ah, so an ambush. Yes. Very tactical.
But we know they're there, so we can thwart them, right?
Yeah, we're ambushed.
Nimbus, have you gone up to look and see? In the sky, that is.
I haven't, no. Do you want me to now?
Yes, as quietly as you can, and as out of sight as you can. I know that you're in the air, but I don't know. Maybe, like, do it without pizzazz or something.
Lady Apithil says, yes, my child, I shall use your eyes. And you see Nimbus's eyes glow a little bit, and then she shakes her head and flies kind of like closer and closer to the building, but not on a direct trajectory. As this is happening, also with that same perception check, Sunny and Fern, you notice the black goo lines on the ground are pulsing.
Don't
It's like
that.
energy is flowing through them.
Is it like a constant pulse or like heartbeat kind of pulse?
Yeah, kind of heartbeat.
Fern's gonna take her dagger and just kind of experimentally kneel down and see if she can cut one.
Yeah, you can cut it. It parts.
Does it seem to disrupt any flow of energy?
It kind of goes like, let's say here's a full one. We cut it, it kind of spreads out into more. It just makes more smaller ones.
Multiplied. Well,
Not multiplied and became. It's not like it became a whole bunch more. It's hard to cut because it's almost liquid.
okay.
It just spreads out a little bit.
She pockets her
We
dagger.
must halt the source. And she says, there is not much left. Humans are entwined. As she's speaking, she's seeing through Nimbus's eyes. Humans entwined in this liquid. Perhaps even attached. And it's being manufactured. Go ahead, Fern.
Is she getting her power from the humans? Is she draining them? Like someone has drained the weave?
Cannot say. Nimbus comes flying back, clearly paler, because the yellow smoke, she had gone very close to it, kind of wobbling as she comes back and just falls out of the sky, and Apithil catches her and pulls her in. You have done well, my child. You who are wearing these boots, I think you can move forward, or shall we leave it to its own devices and retreat for now?
No retreat.
I think we just keep going.
Let us do this.
Right, well,
I'll
if
lead
she's
the
gonna
way.
say that, then Fern is getting her short sword out. She's
Yeah.
starting to get her hood up so that she can stealth, like she's full mode.
Yeah, you guys have gone about 25 feet closer, so you're about 75 feet out on this trail that Sonny's built. Um, as you move forward, go ahead and either have the conversations you would like to, or describe how you're approaching, because I need to find Lady Epithil's stat block.
I'm just locked in on that smoke coming out of there. I'm watching it as we approach.
If there's any trees, I'll climb up.
Oh, there are no trees. The ground is dead. There's a lot of fallen trees in piles and stacks, but nothing around here to climb between where you are and the building.
Okay.
To the others, are we just like walking in, hoping for the best?
I shall
Make
walk
game
in
plan?
first. I'm not the
That's what we
greatest
usually
at-
do.
I'm not the greatest at being stealthy, but I should be able to ward off a few blows or two, so I should be the first one to go. I promise to support you all, as I have almost always done, and he looks at Rip.
Rip takes out a handful of oak bark from their cloak and presses it to their chest. You hear kind of a growing sound as bark covers their body in the shape of armor and kind of hardens. They look over at Fern and raise their eyebrows and say, "Pretty cool, huh?" And then turns and looks over at Sony and says, "I actually forgot I could do
Uh,
Can you say that again? You broke up.
that." I actually forgot I could do that until like, don't tell the others.
Stony, he kind of rubs the bridge of his nose just a bit, and you can tell that he's going to forget that you said that.
Well, Sunny, I think we have no choice but to enter and try. But if any of us know how to sever the connection between a dark god and ritual sacrifices, perhaps this is the time to use that knowledge?
Yeah, totally a typical Tuesday. No worries.
Well, if I had a better look at it, I might be able to brainstorm something in the moment. Might be difficult right now, but I'll
Look
I'll
down
think
at
of something maybe.
Sunny looks down at Graham. You got any ideas? You deal with a lot of weird stuff.
His head spins and he says, "Blow them to fucking pieces."
But
All that.
Grim, we want to save them.
Only if
I
it's
mean,
possible.
sounds like we can't. Yeah.
Ern is very concerned at this and locks eyes with Stony. And if some of them are recognizable, we still destroy them?
I'm hoping that the recognizable ones are not counted among them. However, in the scenario that you are projecting into my head, I will have no other choice. I must steel myself, whatever may come.
Okay. We will have that plan. But give me just a moment, at least, to see if there's anything we can do to sever the connection. Will you give me that when we're inside?
Certainly. I am not one at dealing and dishing damage, if it were. I am better at resisting the brunt of many blows. So, I'm hoping to give you as much time as possible that I can give you.
What if... Do you think it understands common?
Assuming it has any sentience? Perhaps?
I could always try to suggest it to sever the connection before we kill it.
That's not a bad idea. Although I don't know if it's a creature so much as a magical machine.
That could be the issue there.
But perhaps, since the humans are powering this connection, suggesting it to them might have some effect?
Perhaps. Guess it'll depend on what we see when we get inside.
If they're not
As you guys are-
themselves, I believe that the suggestion that you're speaking of might require the element of a, how shall I say, a mind that is sound, and these minds are not being housed, at least I'm assuming, by the original owner, as it were. I'm highly skeptical that it could work, but I am not against it giving a shot.
Well, I am counting on the original owner still being somewhere in that body.
As am I. Do not get me wrong.
Well, we won't know until we try.
Indeed.
You hear Lady Aphathil's breathing just get more and more raspy as you guys get closer. And Sonny, you're still thunk, thunk. So you're about 50 feet away from the entrance. And you can all see shadowy figures moving right on the edge. Lady Aphathil stops and says, "It is within me now. I fear I can go no closer, but I can affect it." And she raises her hand and points up at the sky. It is mid-morning-ish, and the sky starts to go black, starts to go dark, as you see thick clouds starting to build right overhead and form and roil, and you can see kind of like sharp, jagged stripes of lightning lighting up these clouds, and she's just vibrating with energy as she calls a heavy thunderstorm to build above. She's changing the weather, and big fat raindrops start to fall. And just as the ground changed, just because she was there, so does the sky. The blankets of darkness are spreading, and fat drops of rain start to fall and just starts pouring. And she says, through the rain, through the sound, "You will be muffled. Use your hidden status to your advantage." And you guys are all aware that you're under a heavy cloak of rain. And it's as if she cast an even more effective Pass Without a Trace. So
Right.
as you move forward, even though you're not trying to roll stealth or trying to be stealthy, please roll a stealth check and add 15.
Oh, Fern is trying to be stealthy.
At 15?
Add 15, yeah.
I'm never gonna be this stealthy ever again.
That's a 30 for Pieta. Oh wait, no, that's 35.
Pieta, you are invisible in the rain.
Sick.
Fern?
Sunny got a. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Sonny.
34.
Wow. Sonny, you realize you don't need to build a path anymore. She can't go any closer, and you are as hidden as you have ever been. In fact, nobody can see Sonny. It's raining that hard. Fern?
So, I, including my normal modifiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then this is 41.
Stony? I'll comment on that in a minute. Amazing. Stony
Stony got a 33.
and Rip.
We just add a 15, not also our stealth
Yeah,
bonus.
you also add your stealth.
Oh, well, in that case, I get a 22.
All right. Rip, you feel really hidden. You're drenched, you're soaked, but you don't know where anyone else is.
No.
You look around and they're just gone. The same with you guys. You go into this mode that it doesn't matter where your friends are. You feel energized and hidden, even though you're sopping wet, and you hear the lady's voice come through your mind, and she says, "You are my instruments. You will succeed. Find the root and rip it out." And you all have inspiration. So, you don't know where each other are. You could roll perception. Go ahead and roll perception to see if you know where any of them are versus their incredible hiddenness.
17.
Yeah. I don't think you're even worried about them. You're just moving. Sunny?
Sunny absolutely hates the rain, and the reason she disappeared is because she's just huddled down, not looking at anything. Got a 3.
Okay. Stony?
Sorry, hang on. That is a 5.
Perfect. Rip?
14.
It's not bad, but you still can't see anyone.
I don't know where
Pieta?
anybody is.
Pieta's like, ooh, I'm invisible. Ah, ooh. He's like all like entranced in like the coolness of it. Yeah, he got a 6.
I'm
Okay.
looking really hard. I just can't see.
And you guys are about 50 feet away from the building. Go ahead and roll initiative, and we'll move through that since you all feel kind of alone right now.
18 for Fern.
Okay. Anybody above an 18?
Yeah, Sunny got a 22.
Every time you
Why do you
so
shout?
upset about it.
Because I never want to go first on initiative, and I feel like it happens every time.
Anybody between 22 and 18? How about between 18 and 15?
17.
Okay. How about between 15 and 10?
13.
14.
Okay. 14 Rip, 13 Pieta. All right. And let me roll for Nimbus, who is trying. Now she's hurt, so she's not gonna. The gas got her already, so she's not gonna keep trying.
But
All right.
Well,
Oh yeah, Clips. Thank you for reminding me. Clips can Ooh, he rolled really high too. Clip's got a 19. Okay. Clips is going to stick by one of you. Who did Clips come up to and nuzzle with? Oh, yeah, that was Pieta. He's going to stick with you, Pieta.
Oh, he's a good boy. Good.
Sonny.
Good. What?
You feel something different about this rain. It is getting you wet, and you know you typically don't like water. But this rain feels healthy. It feels good for you. You may choose not to like being wet, but it's almost not like this is wetness. It's like healing almost. It's not actually healing you, but it feels like you don't mind it as much.
Okay.
It feels so natural. That's what it is. You're almost one with the raindrops falling.
I guess Sunny's just going to continue forward.
Okay.
30 feet. And look up and open her mouth and try to drink some of the raindrops.
A lot of rain falls in. It's sheeting down so hard you can't see much.
Yeah. She almost wants to start skipping because she usually hates the rain and getting poured on. She's like, I can feel this. Kind of forgetting where she's about to be headed.
Grim kind of pecks you in the cheek with his paper mache beak, or no, it's an actual beak, pokes you and says, "Focus."
Oh, sorry. After the 30 feet, she's still 20 feet away, right?
Uh-huh.
Sorry, since I missed last session. Is there like a door? Is there what?
It's like a giant log cabin warehouse. It's made of just giant, like unfinished logs. And
Okay.
you're going toward an end of it, and there's a big, like, barn door sized opening. And it's dark inside.
Does the door look like it swings outward, inward, slide?
It's open. There's no door.
Oh.
It's just an open, like 20-foot across big rectangle.
Okay. I'm going to use my action to dash and then go another 20 feet to the door, but like stay on the side of the door and just kind of like try to peek inside.
Yeah. So with that, roll a perception check as you look inside.
That's a 7.
It's raining so hard that the water's kind of getting in your eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
Without sticking your head into the building, it's difficult to see. You can tell it's dark in there. You knew you were seeing figures moving in the darkness. You're pretty sure they're still in there.
Okay.
Are you going to go that extra 10 feet to enter?
No, because I remember we didn't have much of a plan, but I remember Stony was supposed to go first. So I'm going to just stay on the side. Grim and I kind of just not necessarily trying to hide per se, but just staying against the door or like
Got
side
it.
of the door.
All right. Clips is going to just follow along with Pieta. He's kind of whining a little bit, maybe once or twice, but he's going to follow Pieta's lead. Fern,
What's up?
with your
Is the-
41.
Is the building like how tall is it? Is it just like 1-story building size? Is it
It's probably
maybe
30 feet high. It's pretty big. It's just like a giant warehouse.
okay?
It's like 3 stories high, but all made of uncut lumber.
Then Fern is going to dash, and she's also going to use all of her movement to get up to the door or the opening, and she is going to try to climb the logs so that she can get it up to the top of the opening and then kind of spider her way in from the top instead of coming in from the bottom like they would expect.
Okay. There is a window you could climb up to over the big doorway if you'd like to do that.
Is it
Or do you
open?
want to go? It is.
Okay.
There's no doors or windows on this place. It's rough.
Then yes, that's what she would like
Okay.
to do.
So roll either athletics or acrobatics to climb up the side.
Man, I keep getting so close to a natural 20. That is a 21.
You use your, did you say you use the dash?
Yes. I
You
used the dash
skid-
and then, yeah. Sorry.
Right. You skitter up the wall and you go into kind of the barn loft almost. There's a little catwalk right inside the window that runs around this whole place. Roll a perception check.
That is a 14.
You see below you there are maybe 35-ish, maybe 40, maybe less. You're not counting. Lumberjack type people of several different races. The floor is solid black. The people have these black, ropey, like webs coming off of them, and it kind of trails onto the floor. Their eyes are black. They're almost, it's dark in here. It's very dark, and so you can't really tell. But the ones that you can see closest to you have this black stuff all over them. You are in an area with choking smoke. Go ahead and roll a con save.
She tightens
As
her mask and hood.
Yeah, that has
Yeah.
lowered. I mean, lowered your DC. So that was a good thought.
That's a 17.
It smells terrible. It smells like death, and it's too smoky up here to see really the source of it. And you're kind of looking down off this little catwalk down below, and that's where you can see the people. But through the smoke, it's very hazy, and so it's difficult to see where it's coming from.
Do I see anyone else on the catwalk?
Nope.
All right.
Is that your
And-
turn?
Yes, she's just going to kind of position herself, crouch down so that she can see everything. And that's her turn.
Perfect. Stony.
Stony moves and dashes up to the door, and I'm guessing he comes into contact with Sunny, who's also at the door.
You mean contact like you want to bump into her?
What?
She's on the side. She's like looking around the edge.
Yeah, Stony will get on the other side.
Okay, so you're looking in. But you're not entering the door?
Not yet.
Okay.
There's a move and
Roll
dash.
perception check.
A perception check?
Yes.
8.
Without entering the place, you're still in sheeting rain, and it's difficult to see in. You never did see in this building earlier, so it's just dark in front of you.
No. But he does signal Cece to fly up to Fern's position. He doesn't know that Fern is there, but he would assume that that is a tactical position as well. So, Fern, you will hear the tiniest of like magical, I guess. Oh, what'd she sound like? I guess kind of like a soft thrumming, and you would come to like recognize this sort of like thrumming as it just like
like comes around your back and then perches atop your shoulder. I don't think I ever mentioned how Cece travels with Stony. Is that it forms back into a cube, and it's much smaller these days because it's a tiny construct. So it'll perch on your shoulder.
Okay. So, Fern, you hear this little hum come right in through the window behind you, and you notice that it's Cece, and Cece notices that it's you. I guess Cece can notice things.
Yes,
And
she
so,
can, though I don't know. It's not very specific what the guidelines say about how
how much
Cece
AI
communicates
there
that
is.
with me. So I've
Okay.
just been taking a few liberties. I'm not gonna say that Cece is like a familiar, like I can see through Cece. I probably just it's more of like an alert mechanism that she has. She can make sounds and she can do basic functions, but I can't see through her.
Okay. And she can only do what you tell her to do, right?
Yes.
Got it. There's no independent thoughts. Okay. That's done. Rip.
Yeah. Um, I am going to move up to where Sunny is, right next to her if I can. To I want to cast Detect Magic, but I'm casting it with the recognition that there's a chance that all of these living beings in this space might light up. So I'm really specifically trying to detect something with a magical effect that's not moving. I'm trying to find the source of this smoke, assuming that it's probably a magical effect, and I want to sense where it's coming from.
Okay. The spell. So, Sonny, what you see is like a little cloud of rain, a little thicker than the others, moves up next to you, and as it gets right next to you, you know, oh, that's Rip. And Rip, you didn't notice Sonny was there either until you practically touched each
Yeah.
other.
Oh God. Oh, I'm so perfect.
And Rip cast this spell. Rip, the inside of this place within your range lights up.
Yeah.
It's like the densest spider webs ever. They're everywhere, and that's all you see. The
Okay.
ground is covered. It's like a puddle all across the ground. It's just, and your senses are alight with
Yeah.
the amount. And then there's in the behind everything, you can't tell what it is, but there's a bright source.
Is it like on the back wall? Is it where the
Well,
smoke was coming out was out of the building? Was it coming out of a fireplace, like out of a chimney, or was it coming out of like windows and
kind of just leaking through the top and out the
okay.
windows.
Okay.
You can't your magic doesn't reach all that far. You just
Sure.
know that there's a centralized glowing like very magical something in the middle.
In the middle. Okay, cool. I'm going to lean over to Sunny and say, "Hey, can you tell Fern in her head that there's something big and magical right there, right in the middle?" I assume she's looking also to break this I know she's looking to break this connection. I think that might be where it's coming from.
Can I see Fern?
Mm-mm.
Uh, I messed up. Forgot to make that connection first. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll I mean, heck, you and I can aim for it.
I relayed the message you gave me in your head.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
Good.
I'm just
Okay.
gonna take that as if Sunny understands. Great, we're on the same page. Perfect.
Is that Rip done?
Yeah, that'll be me.
Okay. Pieta.
Anytime Pieta notices his Limbus's whimper, he like checks up like on him. Hey, you good boy? Like what's going on? Tries to like get an insight on like what if they see anything that he doesn't.
No. In fact, you can see clips. He's not nearly as obscured. Your friends are just gone. But you can still see clips. He's just getting rained on.
Sounds like
He
what the
wags
all
his
right.
tail once or twice and looks directly back at this building like he's ready.
Yeah, so we dash over there. Or do I even need to dash? How far away is the building?
It's about 50 feet. What's your movement these days?
Bowdy?
Yeah, so you would have to use the dash to finish getting there if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, so I'll use my 40 and then I'm gonna assess the situation. So, because he doesn't know like what all happened. So once he gets there, does he see like the door open? Does he see anyone, any of his friends?
You don't see any of your friends. There is the big open door and a window up above.
Hmm. He looks at Nimbus. Can you climb?
You know he can't. He's a dog.
Is that? Did you say can't with the T or?
Cannot. Yeah, can't.
Okay. Right. I mean, I don't know. I thought you were magical. Okay, don't give me that look. He's like, through the front door we go.
He can
So I use.
teleport though.
Oh, do you want to? I kind of
He
asked him
looks he looks up at the window and wags his tail.
like, all right, up we go. Can I roll acrobatics to get up there?
Sure, you're climbing. Yeah, roll acrobatics.
All right, here we go. And that is a 22.
So you coming through the window, you see a very, very misty version of Fern and this little floating cube. And then right next to you guys on the little catwalk apparates Clips the dog. And he starts
Oh no.
Fern jumps and totally not expecting this to appear beside her and almost falls from the catwalk and catches herself and just kind of looks at Cliff.
I like split my eyes like,
So what would you like to do up there, Pieta? You can roll perception. You've finished your action, but you could do perception check.
yeah.
Or
Let's do...
I've already described pretty much everything, but yeah, go ahead and roll it. You might roll super high.
Super high perception, go! I am really good at these, except when I don't roll a 3. Okay, man. That's
Okay.
a 7.
Clips looks out into the openness through the haze and growls. And that takes us back to the top of the line, top of the order, with Sunny standing at the corner of the door.
All right. I look at Rip and in their head I just say I should go in.
Can you hit that area? Can you aim for that area and I'll try to point where I'm looking at. If Sunny's right next to me like that, I'm gonna try and feel for Sunny's hand, and I'm gonna form her hand into a pointing finger, and I'm gonna point it right at what the magic spot that I'm looking at. I'm gonna say, can you hit from a distance to that spot?
Can I? Can I attempt to do an Eldritch Blast on that spot?
Sure. You would have disadvantage because you're not inside yet, so you still
Yeah.
are in the rain.
Could it even out since I use Grim to cast it though?
Sure.
And imps have better vision than. Yeah.
Do you want to send Grim in?
No, I don't want him to
Okay.
leave my hand yet.
Still on your hand.
13 plus 5, so 18 to hit.
So the crackling ball of energy out of his mouth. And you instantly, over the sound of rain, hear movement. And people come into view right in front of you, right like within touching distance, carrying axes, saws. Some of them have little cleavers or knives and stuff, and they're walking very slowly, but they come to the door, and there's tons of them. There's probably 6 that walk right up to you and are going to take swings at you.
Well, I think it's still technically my turn because that was just an action, right?
Okay, yeah, still is technically your turn.
Could I? Because
And
I
you're
see.
still under the effect of Pass Without a Trace. Although you
Yeah,
revealed yourself to some degree by shooting that.
this is true. I guess. Okay, well, that's true. That's fair. In that case, I'll just stand there.
Okay, does a 10 hit you?
No.
Okay, these people are just like taking whacks at you. Does an 8 hit you? Does a 5 hit you?
Oh, yes, that one hits.
A 4 and a 2. They're people just trying to hit you, and their movements are slow because they don't know what they're hitting. They're just swinging blindly at something that came out of the rain, a, a light, basically. And so they're just standing in the doorway. Some of them are getting wet. Some of them are inside, just kind of swinging. And none of them hit. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Clips from up on the catwalk disappears and is gone. Fern.
Fern is going to move so that she's on the opposite side of where Pieta is and where Clips was. And she is going to, since she can see all of the movement that's happening down there, she is going to close her eyes and concentrate really, really hard on the image of this halfling she remembers from Iman. And once she feels like she has a good grasp on it, she's going to open her eyes and point to a spot in the room below that is on the other side, away from where they're kind of attacking and moving.
Mm-hmm.
And she is going to create the illusion of a halfling in the room.
Okay. Great. You hear a bunch of grunts and like muffled shouts, "Ooh, here," that type of thing, and you see movement toward your illusion. Anything else? Okay. Stony. You saw a bolt of energy, of magical energy, lance into the building.
Okay. For Stony, it is go time for him, I think. So he is going to steel himself, or rather brace himself as he enters. He can't see anything, but he is going to enter this building.
Okay. The first step you come in out of the rain, you bump into someone that you know from Gladewell. You literally bump into him. He's standing there with a woodcutter's axe and you thump into him and he looks down at you, what do you do?
Well, I recognize him as a Gladewell resident.
Yep.
Do I know his name?
Sure. You know his name.
Okay. I just.
Do you want me to tell you?
I thought you were gonna. I thought you were gonna
I'll
be
make
like,
one up.
and the big reveal is that it was the mayor of the town. Okay, I don't know.
No, it's just some random guy. You know, as one of the loggers.
He'll say, "Excuse me," and he'll push past him.
You can move, although it's going to be hard to move. You can go half your distance because you're pushing through people who are slow to respond.
Okay.
You also notice that you're walking on this sticky black mess. It's sticking to your shoes.
Okay. It's only sticking, no other effect that I can tell
So far.
so far. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I see anything past these bodies? He's going to move a full movement, so as far as he can go, pushing past these bodies.
Okay.
I'm
So you
assuming
can
at
go
half,
15.
so 15
Roll a
feet.
perception check
Okay.
and also roll a con save. I forgot to have Piet to do that. Can you roll a con save, please, Beniel, while we're waiting? Never mind. I guess you can't.
Just kidding.
So
What'd you
the
say?
perception check is a 1.
Okay.
Next in order is the Constitution saving throw. That's a
Okay.
natural 20. Well, dealing out crits tonight, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very like the air in here is thick. You're not in the smoke, but you can smell it. This fume. It's much like what you dealt with the construct, but you pass through this stuff and you're still okay. You are now surrounded by people, though. Let's get back to Pieta just for 1 sec. Would you roll for
Okay.
your con save?
Oh, it's not. The guy, he got a 4. He got a 4.
A 4. Okay. We'll get to you on your next turn.
Yay.
These people around you. So I'm going to have the people in the place go right after your turn for everyone. The people around you are kind of like, they don't look fully aware of what they're doing, but they know you're not one of them. You're not covered with black, so they start taking swipes at you with whatever they're holding. Does a
Okay.
14 hit you?
Well, no, but Stoney's turn isn't over. So
Oh,
before you go,
okay.
he had only just moved, so I've still got an action left.
Right.
For his bonus action, he is going to command Cece to begin searching and alert him of any potential magical source that he needs to cut them off. So anything that looks like out of place, or like like the source of what's affecting them. I know that, what did Lady Aphel say? Rip, or the root of it. I can't remember the exact phrase, but he knows that we're looking for something in there.
Find the root and tear it out.
Find the root, tear it out.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So, Cece
Roll a
would
perception
like
for
to...
CC.
What's that?
Roll a perception check for CC.
Ah, she fared better than I did. That is a 17.
Okay. You can't really see CC now. Is she in your head? No, right?
No, but she can alert with an alarm like noise.
Okay, so she sounds the alarm.
When you command her, do you have to say it out loud?
I would say for more specific commands, he would have to requested out loud. For more basic commands, he might wave his hands.
In this instance, do you speak?
In this instance, I think all he would say is locate.
Okay. So you do speak a little. All right. Is that your turn?
Um,
Do you have something
that was
else?
a bonus action. Now Stony is going to stand amidst all of these people and raise a shield and take the dodge action.
Great. All right. So you are 15 feet inside the door. Does an 11 hit you?
No. It's going to
And
take,
a
if you're
natural
doing a
1.
lot of them, it's going to take a 19 or higher.
Okay. And they're all moving very slowly. And so you are feeling like thuds and stuff on your shield as you're ducking and dodging, but nothing gets through. Rip.
Okay. This might be crazy, but we're gonna do it anyways. I'm going to cast Moonbeam on that spot.
What spot?
Yes. And
Oh,
Stony
the
would
spot that's
Stony
glowing.
would say, sorry. It's further within. I can't see it, but Cece is sounding an alarm.
Cool. I'm gonna cast it where that spot is.
Okay. Stony, when you say that, is the first time you feel like you have revealed your actual location. Up until then, you were still under the Pass Without a Trace spell. Rip, what's the range on that Moonbeam spell?
120 feet.
So, like, nice distance. So, what's the range on your Detect Magic spell?
30 feet
Okay.
from my.
So this is a guess. This
Yeah.
is a guess as to where the actual source is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a 5-foot cylinder. It's a magic action to move it.
Mm-hmm. You're just
You
calling
know,
it in and you can slide it around. I get it.
I feel like I can, I feel like I'm gonna know really fast whether I hit it. Get the feeling I'm gonna know pretty quick.
And it's pure radiant energy, correct?
It is. It is a radiant cylinder that deals 2d10 radiant damage against a con 12 save. Does that thing need to roll a con save?
Well, you don't know if you're hitting anything.
That's true. I
But
know.
can you roll damage, please?
Yeah.
Because anything that's in it, if there is, will be taking this damage.
That's so true. I guess we'll find out what's in it right now. That will be 10 points of damage.
Okay. Can you also roll a con? Oh, you're not entering yet, are you? Okay.
No.
Good. You all hear a high-pitched, keening whine as this huge light source comes in and the smoke starts billowing out as this source of radiant energy is burning the shit out of something.
It's a cylinder of light. So if it hits, once it comes down, can I see what's in that cylinder?
Good point. Yeah, everything in front of you is now backlit, and you see people standing there with things in their hands, tools and whatnot. Behind them,
Yeah.
everybody would notice this. Not where your light is, but about 30 feet past them is a raised dais. Let me describe this. It's a raised dais made of what looks like wood, and there's a puddle on top that's just oozing down the sides of it. Standing on top of this dais, creating this puddle, are 4 spider-like creatures. They don't have 8 legs, they have 4. But you have seen these crawling through the trees a long time ago. There are 4 of them, and they're kind of hunched over, and this black stuff is just pouring out of their mouths as their bodies are undulating and just like vomiting this black stuff. As it hits the dais and oozes down, this vile yellow smoke is rising up around them.
So yucky. I love it.
All 4 of their heads turn toward your light. Anything else, Rip?
No, that's all.
Okay. Then let's go to Pieta. Pieta, with your fail of a con save,
Nope.
you are stunned. Which means you are able to move slowly, but not able to perform any actions or bonus actions. You're just kind of there. You're not sure what's happening. So for your whole turn, you are basically unable to do anything.
Can I still move?
You
Just
can move
like
half
half?
your, yeah, but it's in like an awkward way. You're up on a catwalk, or you can try.
Oh, I am? I thought we entered the room. Or,
You're up on the catwalk where he crawled in through the window.
oh, yeah.
Flips has vanished from where you were, and Fern is still up there nearby, right, Fern? Except you might not see her, because not only are you stunned, but she's still masked by this spell.
And there's just a spotlight in the middle of the room.
Yeah, you're confused. There's a giant light shining over there. There's more smoke coming now because of this light, which seems to be cooking the ground and anything on it.
How do you get rid of the stun? Or do you just have to wait it out?
Well, it depends. Depends what you do and what happens.
Mm,
You could say you're just going to stay there, or you can move. But at the end of your turn, you're going to roll another con save.
yeah, I'll stay there, but I'll try to voice out like, I'm stunned.
You can't really voice any clear communication.
That's right.
You can make noise. That's about it. Like, I heard something like, very rudimentary words.
Yeah, something like, ow.
Okay. So that's the end of your turn. Please roll another con save.
I'm really good at these.
Let's be good at them.
Nice. That's a 16.
Okay. You shake off the spider webs in your mind, because you were starting to feel like everything's just fine here. But you shake it off, and that's the end of your turn.
Nice. Kind of liked it.
Sunny.
Okay, so I can see those 4 figures right now. That's in the building. Is there any one of them that looks more in charge than the others, or they are all the same?
From where you are, you have no idea. They're about 60 feet away.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to 60 feet. Shoot. Wait, what was this? Oh, we're good. 90 feet. Okay. Grim is going to utter a guttural sound, which is a curse word in his infernal language, as he raises his wing and points to the one on the very far left. And I'm casting Hex on that one as a bonus action. And then after he shouts at it in Infernal, he's going to then sneeze up a fire, or not a fire, an Eldritch Blast of energy shoot at them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
And with advantage, because I'm using my familiar.
Yeah.
Both those rolled well. A 23 to hit.
23 totally hits.
Lovely. So I get to add an extra d6 of what kind of damage is that? Hex is necrotic damage. Okay, so for the Eldritch Blast, it's going to be. Oh, these online dice really well for me tonight. 13 force damage from the Eldritch Blast, plus an additional 2 necrotic damage. As like the typical Eldritch Blast of like this red energy now has these strands of like blackness within them when they hit.
So this one, it strikes this one and it kind of it's like kicks it off of the dais and it spins into the air, and this black goo that it's been vomiting just kind of sprays out across everything, and it's now knocked off of that dais. Anything else?
So if I go inside, I would be surrounded by a bunch of like the townspeople, correct?
Correct.
Staying where I am. Even though I know there's already still some on me. I'm just
You're
gonna...
still out in the rain. Yep.
Yeah.
Problem. But thanks to the moonbeam, you can see better. And definitely you could see stuff behind the moonbeam, which is why you could see these ettercaps. All right. That's what they're called, by the way, if anybody didn't figure it out. Okay. You hear at this point a bark and a growl and a snap as Clips sinks his teeth into something that's you don't know. You just hear him growling and stuff. So he's fighting something in there. Let's go to Fern.
As the light filters in, and Fern kind of huddles back a little, pulls her hood down further so that she's not given away. But she's going to notice the ettercap on the right-hand side fall off of the dais. And
You would be on the left.
or
But
the,
yeah.
okay, the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And that will spark an idea, and so she will take her short bow and steady herself so that she can have clear aim at the one on the opposite side. And she hones in on the leg that's right on that edge of the dais.
So you're going for the one on the right.
Yes, and she's going right for the leg to try to make it hobble it, make it fall off the dais.
Perfect. Shoot at it.
All right. And I have advantage because I studied aim. Ah!
You're also hidden, so you could have advantage from that and still move.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Awesome. So that's going to be a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
Lovely. And Clips isn't on the other cap, right?
Not on the one you're shooting at.
Cool.
You don't know what he's on.
It's gonna do 8 piercing damage.
Okay. Including sneak? Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, not including sneak. Sorry. 9, 10, 11, 18. You'll have 18 piercing damage.
Big one. I forgot, Sonny, these people are going to take hits at you. They're all still swinging in the dark. 14, did you say?
Yeah.
Miss. 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 And bad miss. One of them slips in the rain and falls down on the ground next to you.
Oh,
Oh, can I help you up? Oh, no, wait, no. Stay down there.
Yep. Okay.
so then
You done,
instead
Fern?
of instead of her study game, then she will use that to melt back into the shadow.
And stay up there.
Hmm.
Okay. Stony.
Stony would like to first assess his goop on feet situation.
Mm-hmm.
How's that looking? Still the same?
It's kind of stuck on your boots like spider webs or like glue. You can still move at half your speed,
That's fine.
but
Can he see the eater caps and the dias now?
you can. And CC says target acquired.
Indeed. So you know, he holds out a gauntlet, and from his fingertips you see glowing quartz crystals. As it superheats, a focusing beam comes to the center and pierces out and fires off some magic missiles. Two go into the two eater caps that are still standing, or rather, have not been interrupted, and the last one goes on the dais.
Oh, okay. So roll your damage as
Okay.
these two missiles arc out, spiral into these things.
Okay, one eater cap takes 5 damage. The other one takes 5 damage.
Okay.
And the dais takes 2 damage.
Okay. As you hit the dais, the black liquid just kind of splashes up, and as it splashes in the air, it spreads out into these webs, and it falls thickly into the surrounding area. You don't know if there's anything else up there with them, but two Ettercaps have now been knocked off. I didn't tell you that, Fern, but with your sneak damage, you knocked them off. There's still two up there, but they have stopped vomiting their blackness, and it's not their turn yet, but they are looking very intently around them. Rip.
CC is going to fire at one of the
yeah.
eater caps.
Sorry. I keep forgetting you have a CC. Go ahead.
Does a 20 hit?
Oh, yeah. Which one,
Okay.
left or right?
Where's my D2?
I don't know.
Here it is.
Almost every dice would work as a D2.
Left.
Okay.
This is my D2.
And what's the damage?
2.
Okay. All right. He's still up there, or it is still up there. And that's Stony. Now, is that your turn, Stony? You
Yep,
done?
that is my turn.
All right. Rip.
I think I should probably roll concentration first to make sure I can maintain Moonbeam. Do I have to roll concentration or only if I take damage?
Only if you take damage.
Okay, fabulous. Move that Moonbeam. I'm gonna take a magic action to move it onto one of the remaining Ettercaps that's on that dais.
Can you move it 30 feet?
I think so. It doesn't. I don't see any restrictions on how far I can move it. Let me double check the wording on it.
I think it used to be that you can move it exactly 30, but I'm not sure what the new one is.
Up to 60 feet.
All right, then. You slide it right onto that dais. Are you going on the one on left or right? Got a D2 over there?
Yeah, it'll be the left one.
Okay, same one. Let's see if we can cook this fella.
focus our energy here. Let's see. Ooh, that'll be 19 points of damage.
Dang.
Sizzling.
Yeah, this thing starts. It has been hit with a. It's been hit with a magic missile. It's been shot by CC, and then this moonbeam just starts cooking. It screams and disappears off the dais. Or it doesn't scream, but it squeals, I guess. Pieta, you are on this catwalk. Your vision clears. You're able to look down. There's a lot going on. A
Yeah.
giant sliding light, kind of like a flashlight beam, slides across onto this dais, and you see all these things lit up. There's a whole bunch of people moving around under you. Stony is among them, and he is being barraged. Did I even roll those, Stony? Your AC is 18, right?
I also need to make another Constitution saving throw.
Because, well, nobody hit you yet. You succeeded, didn't you?
Well, I just thought the fumes would get to him too, wouldn't they?
It's not doing it every round at this point.
Oh.
As long as you succeed, you're good for now. And I just rolled all their attacks. They're all still just kind of clanking off your armor.
Yeah, he's glancing blows. He's like stepping aside very strategically, like watching where all the swings are coming from.
Okay. So, what are you up to?
I like get a hold of myself, assess the situation, and kind of yell down to Stony, "Hey, Stony, do I attack those? Do you need some help?"
The Eater Caps.
Oh yes, right. Not the humans. Okay, right. Thought so. And then Pieta makes his way to the Edicap fighting area.
How are you
and
going to
probably
make your way there? Because they are about 60 feet away, and there's a big warehouse of people under you, between you and them.
is there any type of structure above, like the house? Does it have any type of like structure
I
holding
would
it
say
together?
there are some structural beams across there that you could perhaps parkour across. So if
Or
you'd like
swing
to,
across
or
if I could
swing with
attach it.
your rope. Yep.
Yeah, that's
A
what I'm gonna do.
60-foot swing is going to be tough.
It doesn't need to be 60. It could be 40, and I can probably toss my dagger at it when I'm within 20 feet of it.
I tell you what, I'll let you know how far you can swing on this movement with your athletics or acrobatics roll.
I'm
Probably have
definitely, yeah, definitely taking acrobatics. All right. So yeah, Pieta takes out his thingamajig. Is that? Oh baby. He takes out his freaking silk rope, and like he just feels like super confident. He like he just like something just wells up within him, and he's just like, this is gonna be fucking epic. He rolled a 20 for a 25, a natural 20 for a total of 25, and he just like stretches a little bit and then goes for like a huge leap, or tosses it up and goes for a huge leap, and like you could see his like the veins in his muscle just like boom as he bounces off of the wood planks underneath him.
All right, so I'm going to describe it, and then you can embellish in any way. Pieta jumps for the nearest crossbeam structure, hits it with a hand, and then keeps going, slides across, and throws his grappling rope. And you're going to swing down close to the floor over the heads of everybody, and you can let go of your rope and make it the whole distance, landing on this dais if you would like.
Is the dais full of like that black gunk?
It is, but there's one creature on top of it too. It's everywhere on the floor. So if you hit the floor or anybody, you can't really avoid it.
Yeah, understandable. All right. Yeah. Let's go all the way across. And if I if I land on the Eder cap, I'll stick it with my dagger.
Okay.
Or
Roll it.
oh wait, no,
Roll
was
to
it?
hit.
Okay, let's do it.
You're just flying into it. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
You're just like
Yep.
feet first or something.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
Maybe the impact can be greater. The to
Mhm.
hit is a 17.
Okay. So that hits.
And the dagger attack damage is 7.
Okay.
And I'm feeling particularly motivated, so I think I'm going to, since I'm on it, I'm going to use um my fury of blows and
Mhm.
go for a 2 hit.
Okay.
Let's see,
Flurry.
unarmed strike first.
Let's flurry.
Let's flurry. The unarmed strike is another natural 20.
Okay. Are we doing this the way that I said before? Give full damage and then roll a die? We said we
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to, right? All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So what's your full damage you would get from an unarmed strike?
2d4 plus 3, so 8, 9, 11.
11. And then roll your attack your damage again and add it to 11.
Oops, I clicked that twice. Oh, right. Okay, cool. It's 8. So 19.
Okay. So 19 total. So here's what happens. And you're not finished yet. You still have another.
Yeah, I still have
You're
another.
you let go of your rope and your feet catch this thing in the stomach and you send it flying and you ride it to the ground, stab it with your knife. You still have and you're on it in the puddle of goo, not touching the goo. That's how
Nice.
perfect you have been. Now you have another unarmed strike if you want to knee him in the face or
Hell
kick
yeah.
him or punch him, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Headbutt him.
You already know. All right, let's see. To hit, cool. That's another 17.
Okay.
And
That hits.
to sorry, man, I'm just feeling extra spicy. And then I jab him with another 7.
7. All right. This guy went from uninjured to taking 39 damage. No, he was already hit with a magic missile. But yeah, you
Nice.
pile drive this guy, this thing. And you're
Yeah.
all of them are off the dais now, and all of them are somewhere on the ground around it. It is now their turn.
Right before that turn ends, though, I want to quickly say, like look around to my friends. Talk about a cool entrance, am I right? And just like kind of like gloat just for a second.
I was gonna say on a nat 20, can we all see this and how awesome that was?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You
2
all
nat
watch
20s.
this happen.
That was
Rip, you're the
insane.
probably the farthest away, you and Sonny. And these people are all banging on Sonny because they haven't seen you yet. But between all the flying hands and legs that you're kind of shorter than, you see somebody just go flying across and take that last letter cap off the dais.
I knew who it was. I knew in my heart who it was.
Yeah. So now it's Ettercap's turn. One of them, or all of them, are prone right now, having been knocked down. So tries to stand up, takes a swing. You hear a yelp from Clips. Clips takes a little damage.
Well, they're in for it now.
Mm-hmm.
They actually swing twice.
Well, they're really in for it now.
and yep, hits twice.
That's our little
So-
homie. Now we have a problem.
Can't remember how many hit points Clips has. Ooh, not that many. Okay.
No, not the doggy.
All right. Clips is fighting one of them. Pieta, you can see it's the one that went down first, the one that was on the left. That Sunny shot off the edge. I think it was Sunny or Fern, one of you. Okay, the second one stands up, having been roasted, and it kind of fell out of the beam of light. But it sees Pieta there, and we'll take a couple swings at Pieta.
Come at me, bro.
Does a 12 hit you?
Am I muted?
Sorry, it's actually a 16. Does a 16 hit Pieta?
You are unmuted if you can hear us. Okay, now you are
Now
muted.
you're muted.
You're
Now
muted.
you are. Will you?
Hello, hello. There we go. Can't hear you.
No? No?
He
Can you
was
hear me now?
saying-
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
there you
yeah.
are.
Yeah, 16.
16
barely,
does hit you.
Barely hit me. Yeah.
All right, you take 7 slashing damage from that one because he swung at you twice and only hit you once.
Roger that.
The other one that you knocked on the ground is going to take a bite at you because you're in its face.
This is true.
Does you said you're AC 16?
No,
The bite
15.
misses.
It's
Bite
15 if
still
that
misses,
matters.
but he also claws at you with an 18. 18 on the die, so 22 to hit. So you take another 7 slashing damage.
Okie dokie.
And then the last one that got knocked off the right side by Fern is going to attack you also. And one of their attacks does hit you for another 7 slashing damage.
All right, they're getting the revenge this time.
Yep. But now it's Sunny's turn. Now, Sunny,
Oh.
unfortunately, Go ahead,
Jeff,
Rip.
it's I just wanted to have you note the time. It's
Oh.
9:20.
it
I know,
is
we were having
9:20.
so much fun. I didn't realize what time it was until after 9 either.
Yeah, well, since it's the top of the order, we'll go ahead and pause there. I will say this. Sunny and Rip
Yeah.
from and Stony, from the distance you are, they've been knocked off of the dais and you can no longer see them.
Okay.
The people who are
Okay.
up, well, that's only Fern. Fern, you can still see them, and Pieta, you're amongst them, so you can see them.
This is true. Am I the only one down there?
Stop our fight. Yeah, you're the only one in the throng.
Uh-oh.
Stony is in the middle of a bunch of humanoids who are covered with this black goo, who are just banging on his armor. Whew. All right, folks. Thanks for sticking with us. Sorry this turned into a long slugfest, but
No
I thought it was
apologies.
pretty
None of that.
interesting.
None of that,
Oh, yeah.
sir.
I'm not supposed to say that. This has turned into a slugfest, folks, and thanks for sticking with us.
And you
And-
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Tune in next week to see how it turns out.
exactly. And see what the heck these things are doing. I think it's pretty clear, but we shall find out more as we kill these things and move on in the future. So, we are Dicey Decisions RPG. Please check us out on our YouTube and look back at our whole backlog of the whole thing and watch us from the beginning and give us comments and thumbs ups or whatever YouTube has to say where you like us. Any shout outs from anybody? Oh, I know I'm almost a week late, but shout out to all the great moms out there. We love you guys. Any other shout outs from our cast and crew? Our crew is John tonight.
Stoney's mom.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, touchy subject. Touchy
And
subject.
Sunny's moms.
Hmm.
And not
Aunt
me.
May. and
And
I
you know
mean,
what?
Pocket,
Rip-
who's basically
Yeah.
being
Like
mother.
rips ba, rips wa, and rips pause. All of them.
All right, folks. Players, thank you so much. Thanks for being with us, and I'll see you next Monday.
I guess that
Good night,
means I
guys.
have to close the show.
Oh,
Or I could leave it running and keep you trapped here forever.
To watch us.
Crap. Okay, which one is it? Okay, it's this one.
Subathon.
Yeah.
Okay. I turned everyone into something else for a little bit, except for Jack. Sorry, Jack. I can't turn you into anything. You're the dungeon master. It shouldn't. Oh, my.